Hi there! Welcome back to our yoga video series. This is video number 5, and I am really enjoying this journey, and I hope you are too. So today I'd like to just start out with our deep belly breathing exercise that we did the last couple classes. So go ahead and let's just jump right in. Close your eyes. Place one hand over your heart and over your belly. And again, let's just tune into our breath. Notice the stillness and the silence that's around just simply breathing. I'd like for you to be mindful of how you're breathing, if you're doing that deep belly breathing, or if you're still breathing in hyper-stress mode with the chest. As you're focusing on your breath and relaxing into your breath, do your best to let the abdominals relax on every inhale, filling up the belly. And on your exhale, drawing the belly button into the spine. Good. Pressing all of the air out. Good. Notice the relaxation that comes over your body just by simply tuning into your breath. This is a great exercise you can do throughout the day while you're working or while you're driving. Just becoming conscious and aware of how you're breathing. Again, remember, if you're still struggling with hyper-stress mode, a lot of breathing and movement in the chest, doing these exercises regularly and kind of consciously switching your brain by practicing it will eventually change your style of breathing. Okay? Good. One more deep breath in and long breath out. Let's take our deep breathing into our poses. So unplug the legs, and let's come into a downward facing dog. Good. Remember, with down dog, you're shifting the weight off the hands, so from like a rounded position, shifting the weight back into the heels and the hips. Good. Bending the knees if you need to, and eventually drawing those heels down towards the ground. Good. Let's just shift the weight from into the left foot and the right foot, keeping the legs nice and straight or micro bent. You're just warming up the hips and the low back. Good. Let's oscillate the knees back and forth, and if at any time this is too much on the wrists or just on the arms, you can drop into a child's pose or just drop the knees down and come in and out of the pose. Good. Warming up the lower back. Inhale, come into high push-up. Good, bringing the head in line with the heels. You can drop the knees if you need to. Exhale, low push-up, bringing the chest all the way down. Inhale, upward dog. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears, extend and reach to the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes under, downward dog. Good. Again, you can come into child's pose here if this is too much. Let's just oscillate the knees back and forth. Good. Inhale, high push-up. Drop the knees if you need to. Exhale, low push-up. Elbows come into the side. Inhale, upward dog. Tuck the tops of the toes down, lift through the heart. Exhale, let's come into child's pose this time. Bring the knees wide on the mat, toes together, set the hips down and back. Good, deep belly breath. Inhale, come up onto all fours. Closing the knees gently. You want to bring the knees in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders. I'm going to come into a pose called Thread the Needle. So what I'd like you to do is lift the left palm towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you're scooping that left arm underneath the right. So there's this opening here between the arm and the leg. You're just wanting to extend that the arm through. dropping down onto the head. Good. So you're resting onto your shoulder, and you can extend and lift this arm over your head. Good, so notice the hips are going to want to like really rotate here. I want you to draw that left hip forward, right hip back. So square the hips off. Good, to get a nice opening in that side part of the body. You should also feel this in the back part of your shoulder blade as well. Good, if this is too much, you can bring this hand kind of a little bit closer and just really press against the back part of the hand that's on the ground. Good. Inhale. Come back to neutral. Exhale. Let's do a couple cat and cows. Inhale. Tip the tailbone up towards the sky. Lift through the chin and the heart. Exhale. Come into cat. Good. Rounding the back. Tipping the tailbone under. Inhale. Come into cow. Exhale. Come into cat. Good. Let's do thread the needle on the opposite side. So, inhale, lift the right palm towards the sky. On your exhale, you're scooping that arm underneath that space between the leg and the arm, okay? Drop the shoulder all the way down to the ground and extend your arm straight out in front of you. Good. Again, this time, you're bringing the right hip forward, left hip back. Good, deep belly breath. Awesome. And inhale, unplug that hand. Exhale, let's come all the way down onto our bellies. Good, if you need a little break here, you're welcome just to rest the head. The next pose we're going to come into is called Cobra. Very similar to Upward Dog, except that it's a lot lower extension and less resting in the hands. Okay, so for Cobra, what I'd like for you to do is draw the shoulder blades together, bring the hands back just underneath the armpits, okay, and draw those elbows into the side of the body. Good. And on your exhale, you're just gently pressing the weight into the hands. So notice I'm not in a hyperextension. It's very similar to Superman that we just did, where you're just pressing ever so slightly, shifting the weight into the low back. Draw the heels together, squeeze the glutes. Good. And exhale, release the low back, just resting the head onto the ground. We'll try that one more time. Again, draw the elbows in, you can lift the head off the mat, draw the elbows in, and shift the weight from the low back, good, into the palms. Again, you're drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Good. And exhale, release. Let's rest the head on the opposite side. Great job. Inhale, press the weight back up into the hands and the knees, and let's come into a downward dog to decompress the spine. So the benefits of Cobra are that you're getting a nice strength-building exercise in the back. A lot of us are really, really weak in our back and a lot tighter, or a lot stronger in the front part of our body. Good, so you can just rest into child's pose here. See that butterfly or dragonfly? When you're ready, come back up onto all fours and let's come onto our bottoms and actually come into a wide-legged stretch. It's the beauty of exercising outside in nature. You get to interact with the bugs and the birds and hear the crickets. Good, so wide-legged stretch. Again, everyone's going to be at different levels of this. So I want you just to open up the heels and the feet as much as possible. You can bring your feet a little bit closer if you need to. Take a deep breath in, lifting the arms. And what I'd like you to do on your exhale is just let the upper body reach for the right leg. Good. So again, you're rounding that spine, almost like you're like reaching over to a beach ball. I want you to keep your chest open here. You can even turn your gaze to the sky. The sun is very bright today. Good. And inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, and kind of rotate the shoulders a little bit. Inhale, lift through the upper body. And exhale, bow to the left. Again, you're rounding over, really getting a nice opening in that side part of the body. Turn the chest open. Good. And inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, release the breath. We're going to bow forward. So take a deep breath in, lift through the crown of the head, and on your exhales, I'd like for you just to walk the hands out in front of you. So it's normal if your feet want to start to internally rotate. Just do your best to keep them gently flexed, or in yoga toes, which is kind of like flexing the toes too. And just draw down towards the ground as close as you can. If you feel more comfortable keeping the forearms on the ground, that's fine too. And if you are super flexible, you can bring your whole chest to the ground. Good, but let's breathe into the hips. So that same deep belly breathing that we were doing in the beginning, you want to incorporate that into this pose. So let's take a deep breath in, moving the belly button away from the spine. And on your exhale, let's melt into the pose. So coming a little bit deeper in the stretch, just noticing how the body begins to soften on your exhales. Good. And inhale, walk the hands back up. Good. Exhale, let's bring the legs together. Good, you can kind of just rock the hips side to side. And let's come into a butterfly pose. So bringing the feet together. Now knees are opened up again. The distance at which you decide you want your feet, you can self-determine. You're going to get a stretch really either way. So whatever's comfortable. Take a deep breath in, and what I'd like you to do is either grab the tops of the feet or the ankle, and then an exhale, gently bow forward. Do your best to avoid pulling the feet to you. That's just going to compromise the integrity of the ankles and not really increase the stretch very much. Good, so bowing forward, rounding out the back. You can use the elbows to press the knees open. Good, and inhale, coming back up. Great. Let's come on to our backs. We'll do one more spinal twist. Inhale, bring the right leg to your chest. Exhale, extend the left leg out straight, heels down on the ground. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, you're going to let that right leg fall across the body. Good, the hip is lifting off the mat, and you can extend the right arm out to the side. So the opposite direction that the knee's going is the arm that's going to extend. Draw that extended arm's shoulder towards the ground. Good, and you can begin to deepen your breath, deep belly breathing. This is a great posture for digestion, cleansing out the lymph nodes of the abdominal cavity. Good, and when you're ready, gently come back to neutral. Let's switch sides. Wow, the sun is so bright today. Good. Bend the left knee into the chest. Extend the right leg. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, let's let that left leg fall across the body. Left hip lifts off the mat for a nice spinal twist. You can extend the right arm out to the side. Good. Breathe into the abdominal cavity. Drawing that shoulder down towards the ground. When you're ready, you can gently come back to neutral. Bringing both knees into the chest. You can gently rock from side to side, giving your low back a nice massage. And when you're ready, you can gently rock up to a seated posture. posture. And fold your hands in front of your heart. Just scan your body from head to toe, noticing any difference in your body from the beginning of the class. Don't forget to take your deep belly breathing with you at any time of the day. Just try to practice using the belly to breathe instead of the chest. Okay, I enjoyed being with you today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.